Hey YouTube, second video today, busy day today. So this was in, this is not mine unfortunately, this is significantly more expensive than my usual fare. So this is a Ernie Music Man L3, which I think the L stands for Lukather, which is the guy from Toto and a session musician extreme, supreme even. Yeah, so this was in because the bridge pickup had gone microphonic, so basically I switched it, and also this it's got a push pot with a boost circuit in it, which was stuck out. Well, you could push it in, and if you held it in, it went off, but as soon as you let go of it, it would always pop back out again. So I actually had to write away to Ernie Ball and get a proper pot, and then I had to take the bloody circuit board and see, trying to get a pot off a circuit board. It's not that easy. There must be some other tactic to it, but I did it, and it's all back on again and all working. And it's now got a, oh, I probably might actually even say on the box, I got a bare knuckle cold sweat humbucker put in. It wasn't a cheap pickup, to be honest. It's more than I pay for a lot of guitars, was this pickup. Cost more than that guitar. I'm not sure about that one. I got that one with my girlfriend. Okay, not as much as that one. More than that one because I made that one, and then about the same as that one. So it's basically, you know, what I would pay for a guitar is what the pickup cost. But it's nice. So yes, starting from the top, made in San Luis Obispo, California. San Luis, I don't know how you say that. So it's got the funny sort of 4-in-2 headstock. It's got locking tuners on it. As you can see now by looking at it, it's got a rosewood neck, which is rather nice. You can see it's been satin finish. You see it's the gloss stops there. Then it's sort of satin down here. I would probably have rather it was gloss if it was mine. Oh, it's very glossy. But modern things, I suppose it's the way Steve Lukather wanted it. So it's kind of shape-wise, I don't really know what you'd call that. I had what was it, the guitar? I had a Tanglewood Barretta or something, which is kind of sort of this shape. It was a bit more jazz bassy shaped here. And it's a cool sort of, I don't know what colour that is. It looks gold in daylight. Does it look gold? Sort of bronze or something, metallic finish. HSS layout, single, and the bare knuckle pickup. This is a boost circuit, but the boost circuit does two things, which is pretty cool. So it's active. Well, it's not active pickups, but there's two trim pots on the boost circuit. One of them is for how much it boosts when you give it this way, but the other one is always on, and it's wired only to positions 2 and 4 on the pickup selector. So this is a mad switch in here. And I was looking at it going like, why is there all these? Why is it such a massive switch when it's just a 5-way switch? But it's because it adds. It's so that I think what my theory is. I think this might be wrong. Normally when you play the like position or position 5, then is the neck pickup. When you go into position 4, it's normally quieter. Whereas this one it's not, because that's the active circuit kicks in, and there's a wee dial to tell you how much, so you can get the volume levels exactly the same between. Maybe turn it up a little bit, you know, rather than, so you don't lose the oomph on it. I'm using clean just now, just playing through my wee Laney BC15, no pedals. Boost, which you can vary. It's got a wee trim pot in the back of the door. So I don't know how much one of these costs. I don't think they're cheap. I think they're more than £1,000. Maybe a wee bit more than that actually. A signature model. But I have heard a lot of talk before about Music Man necks being absolutely superior to everything else. The dimensions of them, and even though I've never actually played one before, well, I played one for 5 minutes down in Leicester. But I have experienced this neck before, or a very similar neck. Not all rosewood, but do you know what's dead similar to it? West tone necks, which I suppose is total sacrilege. But the neck dimensions on this are almost identical to this. It feels very at home because of that. It's almost scary how similar the neck profile is. But obviously the rest of the guitars ultimately super more. The whole thing's fucking a billion times the price, but very similar dimensions. Yep, so this is a bolt-on neck. It's got a 5-bolt neck. We're looking at it. Let's say on it. Serial number G63799. That doesn't really tell you what year it is. It's not 1963. That is nice, clean though, really. So the last video I did had 12s on it, and then I've now gone immediately on to the guy who wants to be putting 9s on this. So I've gone from very thick strings to slightly thinner than I'm used to. So I'm not very good at bending on these. I tend to overbend because you only have to touch the strings, hold them down too hard. Trying to get the rat pedal on because clean shows up too many mistakes. I'm not very good in clean. And you're right, over. should he play? Pretty sure Steve Lukather played that riff. That's a bloody hard song to play and sing, and even individually, never mind both at the same time. What a song, though, really. I forgot. What's the line that goes? Just Kilimanjaro rises like an empress above the Serengeti. Yeah. Sure as Kilimanjaro rises like an empress above the Serengeti. That's... I bet you the boost doesn't make as much of a difference when you get the rap pedal on. A wee bit. A wee bit unworthy of playing Steve Lukather's guitar because I'm not he's too good. I can't really play that much of his stuff, not because I don't think he's great, it's just that it's so hard. You know, he plays chords and things like that. It's like, I don't know, he plays chords, you know, funny chords with more than not power chords, not just power chords, which is really it's where I live. I don't have any really playing other than a power chord, but smashing guitar really is. Don't say in the bridge, Music Man. Well, you could probably guess that. There's probably a tremolo arm in the case, actually. I've been keeping this in the case because I'm kind of worried about spilling something on it, or because it's such an expensive guitar, I don't want it to fall over or get spilt on. So, yeah, so this might be the most expensive guitar I've ever played, maybe. I did play a £5,000 Gibson Les Paul in the shop in town. I remember one of my pals was looking at one, Aaron, hello, and it was, so I'd not really played it. No, that was just a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, well, and I suppose this is a better guitar. This one feels very expensive. It is nice, you know what I mean. You can sort of tell, even if you couldn't actually look at it, you can sort of tell playing it that this is not a cheapy normal guitar. So maybe it's like, I'm always very much of the opinion that the best guitars were made in Japan in the 1980s. I think you probably can get guitars that are as good, if not better. You just have to pay for them, basically. You don't pick them up you don't pick up a guitar that's better than, you know, these sort of things. Well, maybe not Phil, but you know, the Yamaha. You don't get a guitar like that for under £1,000 that's better than it, but you do get one that's maybe better for more than that. Yeah, lovely guitar. So I'll be putting this back in its case, and it shall be getting picked up back to its owner, who I don't think ever really used it. I think he was guttedly disappointed with it because it just. I'm sure it's not microphonic anymore. It used to be very, as soon as you knocked the body, it just went woo, but put the fuzz pedal on as well. Okay, maybe with 2 fuzz pedals on it's a bit much, but that's nothing like what it was before. When you were tapping it would just be going Bwah! Well, maybe you can argue. I think pickups are always a bit microphonic. I think that's what makes them sound good. The problem was it sounded really good at really quiet volumes when you were standing miles away from the amp, but when you had it, if you were trying to use it along with a band or something like that, apparently it just howled and screamed. A very similar problem I have in my West Tone there. I put a DiMarzio Super Distortion in it last week, and took it into the studio, and it sounded immense, but it was pinging, and it was like, you know, as soon as you moved it would get on the strap. So I swapped it with another Super Distortion I had, which was still microphonic but nothing like as bad. So I think it's a term of how microphonic it is. You know, you get microphonic as in you can shout in it and it comes through the amp, or you get microphonic where if you tap the body it's a bit, but they're all going to be a little bit like that. Yep. So I should put this back in its case and try not to play it anymore. I'm kind of not want to play it because I don't want to ruin myself and end up having to try and sell 10 guitars to get one of these or something like it. I'm not. The shape's maybe not my thing. It's not. It's kind of sort of in the middle shape. It's not really that exciting. I don't think. It's not really. I suppose it's. I don't even know if it. I suppose it's just a Music Man shape, isn't it? As opposed to being a Strat or a Telly or a Les Paul or anything like that. It's their own shape, which is kind of sort of something in the middle. And what I'm going to do this evening, once I've done that, I did that and the Telecaster, I have got the first Iron Brew jazz bass coming up. I'm just now trying to work out how to wire it. I found out that the pickups are there we go. Right. So I'm going to take the pickups are both different polarities on them, so which means if you stick them both together you get yourself a humbucker. So I'm working out some way of putting it in a push-pull pot, so you can have like a jazz bass, or if you pull the pot out you get the both in wired as a humbucker. So the first Iron Brew jazz bass, and I went for I'm not sure if it was such a good idea, but it's got the original and unimproved labels on it, which aren't as cool looking. I think maybe I might have to take, I think I've got a bottle of normal brew sitting down there to get the blue on the headstock. I might do that, might give that an option. If someone buys it, they can either have the original the original and unimproved label, or the normal label which has got blue on it. So, rocking! Sitting there, it's been painted it yesterday, the day before, but I'm sitting on top of the heater just so the paint is definitely dry. I'm not as bad at it now, but some of the first Buckfaster casters, you've got my fingerprints on them because you got us drying, and it's like when you're building it, it's like kind of like big fingerprint because it's not 100% dry. So hopefully they are now. Rock and roll.